Shalom, Brother Danny here. The launching of my new channel. Launching of my only channel, my first channel. So, a little nervous in front of the camera, but I'm just going to talk like I'm talking to somebody that's sitting next to me. So I say shalom, peace to whoever's listening, whoever's out there watching this. I believe that we are in the last days, and it's vitally important that we figure out what exactly our Creator is asking of us in these last days. I've always been a student of prophecy. I shouldn't say always. Why don't I start at the beginning of how I got to where I'm at, and I'll go all the way back to the time when I was 4, and I come from a family that my parents didn't go to church. My parents' parents didn't go to church, and we just lived out in the country. And my father had a job, and they were young, in their 20s, and somebody stopped one day. A religious group, I don't know who they were, left a Bible. And that's all I can really remember. So they talked to my mom and left this Bible there. And after my mom left, or after they left, I asked my mom who these people were and about the book. And she said that the book was about God. And and I, at that age, didn't know who God was or anything about God. And so I must have asked or whatever. And she said, "Well, God's up in heaven, up in the clouds." I remember having that book and thinking to myself, I'll read this thing if I know who God is. I couldn't read, but I remember that was, I believe it was the Holy Spirit, His set-apart Spirit, already drawn me at that young age to Him. And even though I couldn't read, I knew that somehow in that book I was going to find out who God was and all about God. Well, a year or so later, we had moved, and my dad bought some property, and we had moved, and the next door neighbor had invited us kids to Vacation Bible School, and it was a very conservative Baptist church, and so now I knew that I was taking one step closer to knowing who God was, knowing our Creator. And it must have been explained to me that I was going to go to Sunday school and there'd be other kids there, and so I remember thinking to myself that because I must have already been in kindergarten or something. I knew that school involved drawing pictures or whatever, and I had in my mind that I was going to draw this picture of a perfect cloud with a smiley face on it, because in my mind that was God. He was a cloud. And the first Sunday that I went was the lesson they taught us kids was how we are created in God's image. And so I found out the very first week by, I believe, Yahweh's design that He didn't look like a cloud. He looked more like me. He looked more like us. And we continued to go to that Baptist church till I was about 12, and then we went to a Baptist church in a little bit bigger town, and